All right, welcome. Today, we're cracking open the case file on one of nature's most bizarre and enduring cold cases. We're talking about a mysterious, glowing orb that shows up during thunderstorms. It's been reported for centuries, but it still completely defies any easy explanation. So let's start digging. And right out of the gate, here's the detail that just breaks your brain. We're not just talking about a weird light in the sky. Eyewitnesses consistently, for hundreds of years, have reported seeing it pass right through solid objects. Windows, doors, walls, you name it, without leaving a mark. I mean, come on, that takes it from a strange weather event to something straight out of science fiction. So, that's our mission today. What exactly is this thing? We're gonna sift through the evidence, line up the usual and unusual suspects, and see if we can finally put a name to this glowing phantom of the storm. Okay, so to kick off any good investigation, you've got to formally open the file and get to know your subject. Let's do that now. So here's the official, by-the-book definition. Ball lightning is a rare, luminous sphere of energy seen during thunderstorms. The problem is, that's pretty much all that scientists can agree on. Beyond that simple description, we're looking at one of the greatest atmospheric mysteries out there. So here's the profile we can build from all those eyewitness accounts. We know it's a sphere. We know it can be anywhere from the size of a grapefruit to a big beach ball. It doesn't stick around long, maybe a few seconds, and its movement is totally erratic. But that key anomaly, that ability to just casually pass through solid objects, that's the detail that makes this whole case so incredibly hard to crack. You know, like any good cold case, our best leads often come from the people who were actually there. So we have to turn to the eyewitness testimony, these incredible, sometimes bizarre stories that really form the backbone of this whole mystery. I mean, can you just imagine seeing this? This account from the 1960s really captures the sheer strangeness of it all. The word drifted. I mean, physical objects don't drift through closed windows. The language itself tells you this thing isn't playing by the normal rules of physics. It's silent. It's eerie. It's just impossible. And look, you might think, okay, maybe it's just a trick of the eyes, but this isn't just something people are seeing. This account from way back in 1894 adds more physical evidence to the file, a sharp pop sound, and a very distinct smell like sulfur. When you have different people in different centuries reporting the exact same sounds and smells, you know you're dealing with a real physical event. And this last piece of testimony, this is where it gets really weird. Its movement isn't always random. People often report seeing it follow things like power lines or metal fences. That suggests it's interacting with electromagnetic fields, which makes it seem less like a random blob of light and more like something with, well, almost a purpose. You can see why that pilot said it seemed intelligent. Okay, so with evidence piling up like this, early investigators, of course, came up with a lineup of initial suspects. These were the first theories that tried to explain these bizarre sightings. So let's put them on trial, shall we? So suspect number 1, trapped plasma. It sounds very scientific, right? The problem is, plasma is super hot and incredibly unstable. There's just no way it should be able to hold a nice, neat spherical shape for more than a fraction of a second. So that's a tough sell. Suspect number 2, mass hallucination. Basically the idea that a lightning flash messes with our brains. But that theory completely falls apart when you have physical evidence, like the pop and the sulfur smell. So in the end, neither theory holds up. Case dismissed.
So the early theories were kind of a bust, but science never stops. And as our technology got better, a whole new lineup of prime suspects emerged, built on much more advanced physics and chemistry.
And that brings us to the 2 big contenders today. First, you have the microwave theory. This basically imagines a little bubble of plasma that traps microwave energy inside, kind of like a tiny floating self-contained oven. Then there's the second, and maybe more convincing suspect, the silicon theory. This is a wild idea that says the ball of light isn't the lightning itself, but what happens after the lightning strikes the ground. So for the rest of our investigation, we're gonna really zoom in on that second one, the vaporized silicon hypothesis. It's the theory that's been getting the most attention lately, and for good reason. It actually seems to explain a lot of the bizarre details from our case files. Okay, so check out how this fascinating chain of events is supposed to work. It all starts when a lightning bolt, bam, slams into the ground. Now, soil's full of silica, right? Which is basically just sand. The lightning is so hot, it instantly vaporizes that silica into a gas. As that hot gas cools, it condenses into a floating web of tiny, tiny silicon nanoparticles. And here is the absolute key. This cloud isn't on fire in the traditional sense. It's slowly oxidizing. It's essentially rusting in midair. And that slow chemical reaction is what produces a stable, long-lasting glow. This even explains the sulfur smell, because other minerals in the soil will get vaporized right along with the silicon.
The silicon theory is pretty compelling, isn't it? It seems to tick an awful lot of boxes. But if it's such a good explanation, why is this case still officially open? Why haven't we cracked it yet?
Well, this is exactly why the case has gone cold for so long. Ball lightning is basically a researcher's worst nightmare. It's completely unpredictable, it shows up randomly with zero warning, it's fleeting, it's gone in seconds, leaving no time to study it. You have to be right in the middle of a dangerous thunderstorm to even have a chance of seeing one. And while scientists have created glowing silicon orbs in the lab, they just haven't been able to replicate the stability and that eerie behavior of the real thing. The suspect just refuses to be pinned down.
And so, after reviewing all the evidence and grilling the top suspects, we have to reach a verdict. And that verdict is, we just don't know for sure. The case file on ball lightning remains wide open. It's still an enigma, a beautiful and baffling ghost of the storm. But it really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? If something this strange, this seemingly impossible, can exist right here on our own planet, hiding in our skies, what other profound mysteries are still out there, just waiting in plain sight for us to finally notice?